Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got in a weapon light to take a look at here. This is a brand new release from Streamlight. The model is the TLR-1 HP-X. So I'm pretty excited to test this one out. On a weapon light, candela is way more important than lumens, and this one has 77,000 candela, which I'm pretty certain is the highest of any manufactured all right now. It's higher than Nightstick, higher than Surefire, Mod Light, O-Light, Cloud Defensive. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over the user interface. We'll get it mounted to something. I'll give you guys some beam shots, probably get out to the range, and then I get some thoughts on it. So as you can see, this says it's a high lumen, multi-fuel tactical light for full size and compact railed handguns. And if you're wondering what those guns are that it fits, you can go to Streamlight's website and it'll show you a compatibility list. So besides the 77,000 candela, it's also 1,300 lumens. Looks like we're going to have a couple different switches that we can use. The front of the light actually comes down so we can get to the batteries. Show you some of the stuff there. You can also use CR123A batteries, just not quite as much output, but you're going to get a little longer run times. And if anybody's wondering the exact model, there is the UPC on it. All right, let's pull everything out and see what we get here. So obviously we have the light. We have a couple of these batteries. I'll go over those in a minute. We have a bunch of different rail keys. And then the tool to switch out the switches. And it looks like, yeah, the other switches are in here as well. We have a USB-A to a split, like a Y. Those are USB-Cs, so we can charge both of the batteries at the same time. Manual, sticker, and that appears to be everything. Quickly show you a couple pages of the manual. This is for changing out the rail keys. Show you how to do that. Changing out the battery, and then also the switches. So the batteries that they include with this are the SL-B9. These are lithium-ion. They're 3.6 volt batteries. They're going to be the same size as your CR123As, but these have more voltage. A regular CR123A is only a 3 volt battery. And you can see that they have the USB-C port built right into the battery. And again, you can take that charging cable and do both at the same time. So here is the TLR-1 HP-X. I know it's made out of some type of aircraft grade aluminum. It has an IPX7 waterproof rating. I don't know exactly what LED that they're using, but it has a really deep reflector, and then they use Borafloat glass for the lens. We are looking at a total length of 3.7 inches. A height of 1.44 and a width of 1.44. We are looking at a total weight of 4.1 ounces. Add in our couple batteries, and we are at 5.3 ounces. Let's go ahead and throw the batteries in, and we'll go over the user interface, which should be really simple. So this is designed where the front actually hinges down. And the purpose of that is that you can change out your batteries without taking this back off of your weapon. So you have to push in on this little button right here. And then at the same time, there's this little lever over here, and you just move it to the front like that. And now this will just pop open. And we got a little sign right here that tells us which way the batteries are going to go in. So on this side, it's going to be kind of like that. And this side like that. And then when we push this back up, you kind of just hold this here in place and then pull that back until you hear that little snap. So we're basically going to have a momentary or a constant on. If you want momentary, you can do either switch here, and you're just going to press and then when you're ready for the light to go off, you release. Pretty simple. If you want it to stay on constant, again, either button, just tap it and then release immediately. And again, that's 1300 lumens, 77,000 candela, and you guys will really appreciate this at night. Now, there aren't multiple outputs, you know, highs and mediums and lows. It's one output, and really that's what you want with a weapon light. You want it to be as simple as possible. This does have a strobe option, but it doesn't come programmed from the factory. To program it, I think that it's the 10 tap. So basically we want to press this really rapid 9 times, and then on the 10th time we're going to hold. I think the light will start flashing and then it'll shut off, letting us know that we're programmed. And just like that, we are now programmed for strobe. And if you want to use strobe now, what you do is you press either button, you release it, and then immediately press the button again. And you can do that for constant on as well. And if you decide you don't want strobe on there, it's the same thing, just 9 presses fast and then on the 10th hold. And now we don't have any strobe. Let's check just some regular CR123A batteries. Make sure everything's going to work fine. Again, our output may not be quite the same, but everything should still work. Yep, no problems. Let's make sure momentary. And even with those CR123A batteries, this is still 1,000 lumens and 53,000 candela, making this still one of the brightest lights on the market with disposable batteries. We're going to go over mounting next. Just so YouTube knows, putting a weapon light on a pistol does not modify the gun in any way. Doesn't make it do anything other than what it was still originally manufactured to do. And I'm working with completely safe guns here. There's no ammo anywhere around. Every gun is safe. So I told you earlier in the video that this is meant for full size and compacts. Like this gun here is a subcompact. I brought it out just to show you that it will not fit. You have to have a certain distance between like your trigger guard and where your rail slot is, and this won't even get close to fitting there. So you'll have to determine with your pistol what type of rail system you have. They include Glock in here. They have Beretta in here, Smith & Wesson, and then obviously the 1913s. This gun here is very similar in every dimensions to a Glock 19. And so what we're going to do is basically loosen up the screw right here. And you'll be able to see that there's a little spring down in there. And that allows this to kind of move. So I'm going to loosen that up enough to where I can really kind of get this out. And then we're just going to basically place this over it until that snaps down in there. And then once you get it tight by hand, I like to take a coin or something just to kind of really kind of cinch it down. So if you have a Glock 19, this is going to stick out beyond the end of your muzzle, probably an inch, inch and a quarter, something like that. But that will give you an idea of what that's going to look like. Again, it's going to come up beyond the trigger guard area, give you easy access to the switches. And here it is mounted onto a full size. Again, just barely sticks out beyond the muzzle there. If you have smaller hands and you can't reach those switches, again, they include the higher switches in here. And instead of it being like in the middle of the trigger guard area, they actually come up higher and will extend back a little bit more, just in case you do have trouble reaching it for whatever reason. Or maybe you just like the feel of it being up there a little bit higher. And just to show you battery changes while it's on, again, always keep your hands away from the front of your muzzle. Ideally, you want to be, unloaded, empty. But again, that little switch is right there, so we have to push this button and then flip that switch around like I just did there. Then you just pull down here and then dump those out. I'm actually going to get these batteries here fully charged before we do any nighttime beam shots. And I'm going to compare this Streamlight to this Olight PL Turbo Valkyrie. This one is like 66,000 candela, I think. And the beam distance on this is maybe 515 meters. And this is 555. So they're pretty close in supposed numbers. So we'll see if one appears brighter or not. And also, as you can see, they're almost the exact same dimensions or footprint as well. The Olight just takes regular CR123A batteries, so I will make sure that I put brand new ones in this tonight for the testing. And to charge those Streamlight, I'm just using that Y cable. Looks like we got a little red light on the tops of them. That probably either goes out or it turns green when they're done charging. Alright, show you guys what this Streamlight looks like here in the dark. As you can see, that hot spot is very wide. Tons of spill though too. I'm also going to show you the strobe, so if you're sensitive to flashes, you can look away for a minute. And let's do a comparison between the Streamlight, which is on there, and then the Olight. I'm about to turn it on. You see there's a definite difference in color and the size of the hotspot. That's Olight on the left, Streamlight on the right. Alright, try to show you the Streamlight outside. I'm probably 50 to 60 feet away from these trees here. I can barely see them without any light at all. I'm sure the camera's not picking them up, but it's kind of lighted up here. Yeah, that's this is the Streamlight. Very impressive beam on it. Let's compare it here to the Olight. So that's the Olight by itself. Yeah, the Streamlight is just significantly brighter in every aspect. Throws further, has more of a spill to it. Plus you can just tell how much more focused that beam is. Again, here's the Olight one more time. And then the Streamlight. I don't know how well this will come up on camera, but there's a row of trees on the other side of this fairway here that's probably 170 yards or so away right now, and I can make them out pretty easily. For a weapon light, and especially for a pistol light, this Streamlight is very, very impressive. So hopefully seeing those nighttime shots was somewhat beneficial for you. I know sometimes the camera doesn't always pick up the same amount of light as what your eyes do, but I can tell you without a doubt that the Streamlight is significantly brighter than what this particular Olight is. And this isn't necessarily a comparison video, but I'm just letting you know, if you're looking at something that has 60-some thousand candela and then the Streamlight at 70-some thousand, it's no question the Streamlight is just so much brighter. And the most important part of that is how the hot spot is focused. And that's super important when you're using a weapon light to defend your life. And when you shine it on someone, you want to see if they have a knife, a gun, or is it just a cell phone in their hand or something like that. And man, the Streamlight does a fantastic job. All right, guys, out at the range this morning with that Streamlight TLR-1 HP-X. Probably going to put, I don't know, maybe 100 rounds or so total through it. Make sure that the light doesn't flicker, make sure it doesn't shut off, make sure that the mount doesn't walk loose or anything weird like that. So as expected, I didn't have any issues whatsoever at the range. I put 100 rounds through my pistol that day. No flickering, no shutting off, no walking loose from the clamp here. Just no issues at all. Before I get into all my likes and a few dislikes, I did want to show you guys that you could definitely put this on a rifle as well. The switches here, you can either pull it down like this, or you can push it forward like that there. So again, it wouldn't be any trouble at all to have your thumb there and push in and out on that to activate that. So first thing I'll say is this light is friggin' awesome, and I absolutely love it and would highly recommend it. I probably have upwards of 40 or so weapon lights, and without a doubt, this is the brightest one. The TLR-1 series has been used by law enforcement for years and years, but this is also good for somebody who's working security if you're allowed to carry a sidearm. Also good for homeowners. And I also know guys who conceal carry TLR-1 style lights, even though they are fairly big. And somebody will probably ask the question if this will fit other holsters. I don't know. Because of this little tab over here, I'm not really sure how that's going to fit some things. But the build quality is excellent. That's what you expect from Streamlight. That 1300 lumen output is great. That 77,000 candela is phenomenal. And being able to throw over 500 meters is pretty special too, especially on a pistol light. I like that it's easy to mount and it stays in place once it's mounted. I like that it uses multiple battery types and that you can change those out without removing the light from the gun. I like that they include several of those rail keys, so this will fit the majority of compacts and full-size pistols that are on the market today. And I also like how they include the high switches in case these are a little bit too low for you. They have a set that comes up here, and again, it's super easy to change those out. You just push that little pin and then put the new ones in. A couple things I'll let you know about. They're not really dislikes, or just things that happen. Because the end here sticks out beyond your muzzle, you are going to get a bunch of carbon buildup on the top here and then also on your lens. So kind of be prepared for that. If you're shooting 100, couple hundred rounds, you're probably going to have to clean that quite a bit after you get done. And then the second thing is there isn't any type of like lockout on it. Some of the old TLR-1s, you could basically turn the front here and it would like disconnect the battery connection. So then if you accidentally hit the button, it wouldn't come on. This does not have that. So if this isn't a bag and there's other stuff in here or anything like that, if that gets pressed, it can come on. So just be aware of that. So at the time of me making this video, these actually aren't released yet. This is at the end of June. I think the beginning of July sometime is when they're going to start shipping these to retailers. I think they're going to be right around $200 to $210 or so. But I'll leave a link to Streamlight's website. So if you want to find out more information about the light, you can go there. If they become available on Amazon or somewhere like that, I'll put a link for that down in the description as well at some point. But all right, guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.